I just don't want the tan lines on my back.
We're already 500 nautical miles in. It's day 5.
Lunch is served.
Is land in sight? Land ho calls for a sip.
Oh my gosh, it's happening.
Could have brought me some Knob Creek. Music to this country boy's ears.
Welcome back to Sailing Tela. Wow, wow, wow. What an incredible passage so far on our journey of sailing 615-ish nautical miles to a remote island in the Atlantic Ocean toward our floating home. Day 5 has just begun. It is about 7:35 in the morning, and we actually still have 104 nautical miles remaining in our 615 nautical mile sailing passage to this remote island in the Atlantic Ocean. Take a look around, folks. Anywho, before we get too far along in today's video, let's recap how things have been going for the last 500 nautical miles.
Previously on Sailing Tela, day 1 of 6 of this sail, we sailed out from the country of Gibraltar, out of the Mediterranean, and into the Atlantic Ocean, passing through orca waters, successfully without an orca sighting whatsoever. On day 2, Sean did a fantastic job carrying the vlog all day, as I was down for the count with seasickness.
I puked this morning.
For day 3, we discovered that I may have been suffering from more than seasickness.
She tried a different seasickness medicine that she'd never tried before this time. On the fine print on that box, it actually said, believe it or not, on seasickness medicine that the possible side effects may cause nausea and vomiting.
We made a sail change on day 3, had a decent dinner, and then it was time for day 4. The sea state was beginning to calm down a bit more, and we had more sail changes. An excellent soup dinner prepared by Sean, and by 7:30 p.m. on day 4 at sea, we were
168.3 nautical miles out
from our remote island destination. A gorgeous sunset from the water was the cherry on top of a great day at sea. Which brings us to day 5 at sea. The day began with a little breakfast for Delilah and a sunrise that did not disappoint in the crisp morning air.
Severely underestimated the need for sunglasses at 7:30 in the morning on board in the Atlantic Ocean. This is how little wind we have. Our flag will be flat and it'll pop up in a minute and do a wave or two, and then it'll be flat again. We're already 500 nautical miles in. It's day 5. We're not gonna arrive to the island today. We're gonna have to slow ourselves down because it looks like we're gonna arrive at like 3 or 4 in the morning. We're motor sailing right now because we have like 7-8 knots of wind. It's pretty crazy how calm it is right now. For this to be the mighty Atlantic Ocean, it is calm. And for us to have just experienced those hardcore waves a couple of days ago. As with any adventure, part of the journey is the struggles and the things that build you up as you go that make the adventure all the more worth it. Yep, I was seasick for 2 days and it was rough. You're sloshing back and forth. The boat might be heeled over consistently for 48 hours. It can be a lot. Doing these passages definitely doesn't come without a struggle here and there. Make the destinations all the more worth it, because it's like, do you know what we did to get here? Well, we sailed, the 2 of us, our 44-foot classic NAOD 440 sailboat, monohull, 615 miles just to get to this island, just to have these experiences, just to celebrate our 2nd wedding anniversary here. We also had beautiful sunrises and sunsets. We also did this alone together, just the 2 of us, no one else. Had hot meals that can take for granted sometimes on land when it's not a struggle to cook, when it's easy to cook something, just throw something in a pan. Even cooking something as simple as soup down in the galley below, you're moving around, you're having to brace yourself, the pots and pans are moving around. There's always a story. The fact that we make these sailing vlogs and we post post them every single week. This is going to be something that we can look back on for the rest of our lives and be like, remember when we sailed all the way around the world? Remember celebrating anniversaries and birthdays in all these different countries and places? The memories one day are going to be like insane. They're already starting to build and stack up. Anyway, when you don't have anyone to talk to out here outside of like your spouse and your dog, half the time you're sleeping or your spouse is sleeping in order to come back up for their watch and let you rest and vice versa. So you don't actually get to talk to each other like a ton, as much as you would think out on a passage, because we take 4-hour shifts at night. Then during the day, somebody's resting back up. We don't actually get to see as much of each other as one may think. But anyway, I'll update y'all in a couple hours. It feels so good out here with a little bit of breeze, just a tiny bit. We just pulled in our staysail. We had like anywhere from 3 to 6 knots of wind. So we're just having a motor. We knew this was gonna likely happen if the forecast was correct, but it feels so good out here. In the cockpit, it's actually feeling a little stuffy right now. I'm feeling like really hot in there. So I think I'm about to come bring my stuff out here and lay out right here where there's some sun. I'm trying to avoid tan lines on my back. Hopefully I'm getting a really nice tan.
I just don't want the tan lines on my back.
Just up here tanning away.
I do wonder at what point are we going to see, careful, even though it's like flat, we do have like a little bit of a lean going on side to side. Back to the cockpit she goes. I do wonder at what point are we gonna see land, because we're currently 84 nautical miles out. Right now I see no land. It's not a flat island, so surely we're gonna be able to see it like pretty far in advance. Guess we'll see.
There is a floating object right there. I don't know what it is. Could be, maybe, a fender? I don't know. Looks like it's got a line that goes down, 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 down. So I don't know what that is.
For lunch, I cut up some watermelon. It is so refreshing. I've been eating it in the kitchen while I cut it up. Lunch is served.
Have you ever seen something so calm and glass in your life?
Well, y'all, good afternoon from the cockpit aboard good old Tela. Here we are 5 days out from sea, and y'all, it is glassy calm out here. We don't have a lick of wind. I'm literally telling you, we have like 1-2 knots of wind, but what we do have is land in sight.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's There's another little island there, but that's the one we're going to.
We're about 60 miles out now. When we were about 70 miles out, we were able to pick up the silhouette of the island of Madeira. And that's an amazing, amazing feeling always to have. You're out here day after day after day with nothing around you, nothing for miles in any direction. And all of a sudden, after 5 days, you're able to see the island sticking up out there on the horizon, way off in the distance. It's just an amazing feeling, and that's why we do this thing we do on Tela. This adventure never ends. It's amazing every time we go to a new destination. And even though we don't have any wind, since we were able to call land ho, I think that calls for a celebratory sip, y'all. And I hadn't had a sip since we left it over the Rock of Gibraltar over 5 days ago. Flat, calm conditions. Little motor sailing. Figure I might break out the old Michter's bottle. I'm sipping on little Michter's here lately. Land ho calls for a sip. So let's give her a pour. Cheers, y'all, to always new adventures and land ho off the coast of the island of Madeira. Oh, that's mighty fine. Good old Kentucky bourbon never disappoints, y'all. Y'all sitting here looking at all this glassy, calm water reminds me of one of those perfect fishing days out in the country when you find you a pond or lake and you just can't wait to drop a hook. Speaking of, this old country boy moved down to Florida and he went to one of them great big all under one roof department stores where they sell everything. And he went in looking for a job. He talked to the manager and the manager said, "Well, do you have any sales experience?" And that boy said, "Well, no, sir, but I'm a really hard worker." And the manager, he kind of liked the old boy. He said, "Well, I'll give you a chance." He said, "You start first thing tomorrow." He said, "At the end of the day, I'll come down and see how you did." Well, day rolled around. First day was kind of slow, but the old boy got through it. At the end of the day, the manager came down to the sales floor. He said, "Well, how'd you do? How many customers did you sell?" That boy put his head down. He said, "One." That manager said, "Oh, no." He said, "Nah, I don't know if it's going to work out or not." He said, "You see, most of our salespeople, they sell 25 to 30 customers a day." He said, "I just don't know if it's going to work out for you." He said, "Well, just how much was your total sale?" That boy said, $104,237. And that manager said, "Well, what on earth did you sell?" That boy said, "Well, a guy came in, I first sold him some fish hooks. Then I sold him a new fishing rod to go with his fish hooks. Then I asked him where he's going fishing. He said he's going down off the coast." And I said, "Well, you're going to need a boat." So I took him down to the boat department and sold him a brand new 30-foot fishing boat. Then he got to thinking, he said his minivan might not be able to pull that thing. So then I took him down to the automotive department and sold him that brand new 4-wheel drive pickup truck. And that manager looked at that boy and said, "Now let me get this straight. A guy came in here to buy some fish hooks and you sold him a brand new boat and a pickup truck to go with it?" And that boy said, "Oh, no." He said he came in here and asked me where the tampon aisle was. He said he needed to buy some tampons for his wife. And I looked at him and said, "Oh, dude, your weekend is shot. You might as well go fishing."
That took a turn. That was funny.
What he's got into you? You gonna start crazy? You've been on the boat too long?
You want to look through at it real quick? What does it look like to you?
Bag of trash or something. I don't want that. Land ho, up with a courtesy flag we go.
It is officially day 6 of our sail to the remote island, the remote Portuguese island of Madeira. Oh my gosh, it's happening. We're here after 5 nights at sea. Day 6, we're here. I can start to smell a little bit of dirt. It's kind of funny because after you've been at sea for so long, like you don't really smell much except for what's going on in the boat, cooking and stuff like that. But I can smell dirt and I can see land. Welcome to the island of Madeira. So excited. Oh my gosh. It's glassy. We've gone ahead and gotten fenders out, lines out, because we're like, I think 3-ish miles from where we need to be. Sean told me to flip the fenders, and when we get in there close, we'll get these fenders flipped back.
All right, y'all, we are making our way into the marina area here off the stunning, beautiful island of Madeira. Gorgeous, gorgeous morning here. It's always a little stressful for us every time we go into a new area that we've never been to because you just don't know where everything is at. You're unfamiliar. It's an unfamiliar environment. Always causes you to be on your A game. We're gonna go in here and get tied up to the fuel dock. After we get tied up to the fuel dock, we got to refuel the boat. I always like to top off the boat anytime we pull into a new area before we ever get a slip assignment. I want to fill the boat up. The boat is always full because you never know what comes up or some type of emergency or weather, just anything could come up. And as long as the boat is always full, we can always head out and leave at any time and any time of our choosing. I used to always do that in the aviation world. I would always fill up my airplanes before I put them in the hangar. If I went on a trip, when I got back to the hangar, before I closed the hangar door, the airplane got refueled and topped off. That way, when I got ready to get back in it, it was completely full. We did the same thing here aboard good old Tela.
A new place, a new home. For a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way. My way, my way. My way, my way. Cause I found my way. My way, my way. My way, my way. I found my way. I found my way.
Now that we made it, let's take a look around. Quinta de Lorne, the marina we are staying in. This is where the marina is located on the island. The views at this marina are absolutely epic, y'all. Looking up at the stunning cliffs in one direction, at the picturesque buildings lining the marina, and the sailboat mast contrasting against the scenery. This place is gorgeous. There are 140 berths within the marina. The men's and women's shower facilities are separate, large, and spacious, with lockers available for those showering. And 3 spacious shower stalls. A typical shower facility setup for a marina. The laundrette was small and not in working order, with only 1 washer and 1 dryer. But in the nearby town, there was a wash and fold service available. It's a steep walk up the hill to the bus stop / parking lot for people working daily in this marina area. Of course, with lots of gorgeous views of the marina and resort area we just walked up. Here are some things to know about the island of Madeira. Madeira is an autonomous region of Portugal, is an archipelago comprising of 4 islands off the northwest coast of Africa. The main island of Madeira is volcanic, green, and rugged. The primary language spoken is Portuguese, but due to tourism, many locals speak multiple languages, including English, French, and even German. The island is around 286 square miles. The population as of 2023 was around 253,000 residents. Catholicism is the main religion and the currency is the euro. But the 2 things we were most excited about when visiting Madeira was to celebrate our 2-year wedding anniversary and to go on an epic hike that would begin before sunrise.
So we just hiked for a little over a mile in the dark. Something we've been talking about for over a year now is coming to Madeira, hiking, and we are now doing the dang thing. We are about to witness the sunrise above the clouds in the mountains.
Pico de Aro, where we are. It's amazing, beautiful, stunning view as the sun's starting to peak on the horizon out there. The glowy orange almost looks like orange sherbet starting to glow across the top of the white marshmallowy pillow top looking cloud base.
Still doing it, baby.
We got it. Look at that.
Woo, still above the clouds. Got the sun up there.
Some epicness.
Woo! Let's keep going.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most epic things we've done since we left.
Yeah.
This here's a workout. Should have brought me some Knob Creek. Country boy get a little thirsty up here.
Uh-huh.
5.11 miles in to our hike, we see the parking lot.
Well, y'all, here we are on the majestic island of Madeira, and let me tell you, it has been an amazing day. It is now cockpit 30, and it's time for some sips with Sean. I've had this bottle here, Widow Jane, 10-year. Picked it up back in Barcelona, if y'all saw that video, and I've been itching to give it a try. But before we get into it, let's see what the distiller has to say about it. Now, the distillery says, Widow Jane revives the lost art of marrying the finest whiskeys. Widow Jane 10-year-old is our signature bourbon, hand assembled in Brooklyn using the richest and rarest straight bourbons, only ever 5-year barrel batches, non-chill filtered, and proofed with our own mineral water from the legendary Rosendale mines of New York. We deliver a whiskey unique in its intensity and complexity. I ain't never had a New York bourbon, but I'm anxious to get into it, y'all. But before we get into it, let's see what the distiller's tasting notes say. On the nose, they say it has vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cream. On the palate, they say she's got orange, maple, cherry, and almond. And on the finish, they say she's got charred oak and spice, y'all. Now that sounds real nice. Now let's get this bottle cracked open and give it a pour. Music to this country boy's ears. Oh, no, that's nice on the nose, y'all. I really get that vanilla. Not getting much of that cinnamon just yet, but I really get that vanilla and cream. Let's give her a pour. Really get that vanilla cream on the nose. Let's give her a sip and see what she's got on the palate. Cheers, y'all, to your health. Y'all, that is mighty fine bourbon, let me tell you something. I really taste that maple and cherry. Get a little hint of the orange. I really don't get much of that orange, as they say in the notes, but I really get that maple and cherry and maybe just a little almond there. But for me, I really get that maple and cherry in the palate. That's real nice. Let's give her another sip. Mighty fine, y'all. Really nice on the finish. I definitely get that hint of oaky spice on the finish. Overall, mighty fine. Definitely, this is good sipping whiskey right here. It's good sipping. Mighty impressed with this here Widow Jane. Good stuff. I'll have to add that into the rotation for some daily sips. Good old Widow Jane. Ain't nothing wrong with that, y'all.
Thank y'all so much for tuning into our 6-day sailing adventure from the Mediterranean into the Atlantic to the remote island of Madeira, y'all. But the epic adventure does not end here, since we are on a multi-year circumnavigation of the world aboard our monohull sailboat, just the two of us. There's actually a heck of a lot more to come, such as our very next destination that will take us over 300 nautical miles to yet another far off Atlantic island. So if you're into adventure and you want to see where we're heading to next, click that subscribe button to join us on our journey around the world every single Friday right here on YouTube. But if you happen to want even more from us, consider checking out our Patreon. We hang out with our patrons nearly daily, and they get updates on where we are, where the adventure has taken us weeks in advance. So Patreon is going to be linked down in the description box below for y'all if you're interested. And for everyone else, please consider giving us a big thumbs up, like this video, and comment below to let us know what y'all think. And we'll see y'all next time on Sailing Tela.